Have you ever wondered why the things you've longed for all year still haven't come true? How many times have you felt breathless trying to keep up with the relentless pace of life, or disheartened by failures and wounds that feel like no one else could understand? If so, you're not alone. Everyone has moments of weakness, confusion, and even feeling lost in the midst of unfinished goals and unfulfilled expectations. But remember this: every great journey begins with a small step, and you deserve to give yourself a fresh start. The end of 2025 isn't just the finish line of another year, it's the dawn of a new chapter. It's a moment to reflect and then move forward with strength. According to Stoic philosophy, life doesn't come with a preset script. It's your daily choices and smallest habits that shape your destiny. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't just speak philosophy, they lived it. They faced challenges calmly and deliberately built strong foundations for their lives. So don't just set New Year's resolutions only to abandon them. Instead, join me in exploring 12 Stoic habits, simple, practical principles you can apply immediately to start truly transforming yourself today. Are you ready? If you are, read to the end and comment, "I'm ready." Now let's begin with habit number 1. 1. Create a routine. Have you ever looked at a new day as if it were a blank canvas, waiting for you to paint anything you desire? At first glance, that sounds like absolute freedom, but not everyone knows where to place the very first stroke or what they want to create. Many of us start each morning without clear direction, letting precious hours slip away in a series of random, scattered and disjointed activities. By the end of the day, that familiar sense of disappointment and lack of control returns when the pressures of work, family, and personal expectations intertwine, pushing us into an exhausting cycle. In reality, it's in these very moments that the power of routine truly shines. A routine isn't a prison of rigidity. It's a solid framework that channels your energy in the right direction. Seneca once wrote, "Life without a design is erratic. A life without structure is like a painting with colors thrown together at random, forming nothing, signifying nothing." Stoicism teaches us that an orderly day is a day you genuinely live, not just exist. Risa Williams, therapist and author of Get Stuff Done Without the Stress, emphasizes that you don't need a harsh schedule. Just a manageable, consistent routine each day will free you from the constant burden of decision-making. When you wake up, you already know what matters, what should take priority during your golden hours, when your mind and willpower are at their strongest. It could be a 30-minute morning walk, an hour spent reading or meditating, or simply tidying up your living space. What matters most is that your routine aligns with your own natural rhythms, not a copy of anyone else's. Remember, consistency is the glue that holds all good habits together. A routine is more than a habit. It's a life principle you repeat every day, laying the foundation for greater changes to come. When you embrace structure, chaos gradually transforms into a symphony of productivity and peace. Routine doesn't imprison you. It liberates your mind and empowers you to master your day instead of letting the day control you. Ultimately, every day with a routine is a day you paint a harmonious, fulfilling picture for your own life. And true peace, in fact, begins with those very first simple strokes. 2. Free up precious resources. Imagine this: You have a safe filled with just enough gold to change your entire life. Every morning when you wake up, the Bank of Life quietly deposits another 1,440 gold coins, each one representing a minute in your day. But here's the catch. If you don't spend today's gold, it disappears. There's no way to save it for tomorrow. How will you use yours? Most of us don't spend this golden time wisely. Sometimes you might notice you've spent hours aimlessly scrolling online, reading news that leaves you drained or anxious. You sit in front of your phone, endlessly tapping on apps, only to ask yourself at the end of the day, what have I actually done for myself today? The feeling of not having enough time is often just an excuse for not knowing what's truly worth living for. Stoic philosophy, especially in the words of Epictetus, gives a practical reminder. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid. What does this mean? It means daring to let go, not being afraid to look out of touch when you don't keep up with every headline, don't answer every message, or don't know everything that's going on in the world. That courage frees you from distraction and opens up space for what truly matters. The first step is to observe yourself. Write down a day in your life where every minute goes and which habits actually bring meaning. When you realize how much time is lost to nameless activities, you'll feel just how many opportunities you're letting slip by. The next step is action. Boldly limit your time on social media. Turn off notifications, delete useless apps, and dedicate more time to what you'll be proud of in hindsight: learning, building relationships, caring for your health, or simply resting mindfully. Remember, this isn't just time management. It's about managing your life. Every minute spent on the meaningless is a minute stolen from something deeply valuable. 3. Start small. Do you remember the story of George Washington, the man who once stood at the fate of a nation, yet was famous for his habit of paying attention to even the smallest details every day? He once remarked, "Many mickles make a muckle," meaning that many small things add up to something big. That truth is almost forgotten in a society obsessed with dramatic leaps and the idea that change must happen instantly. Haven't you ever set yourself ambitious goals, reading 20 books, going to the gym 6 days a week, quitting bad habits completely, only to quickly feel overwhelmed, rush in, then give up in frustration? The Stoic philosopher Zeno reminds us, well-being is realized by small steps, but it's no small thing. In other words, every lasting transformation is built from small, steady steps. Don't blame yourself for not being able to change your life overnight. Start with what you can control right now. A simple action, a small victory. It could be waking up 10 minutes earlier, reading a single page instead of 10, or spending 5 quiet minutes before your day begins. Remember, discipline doesn't come from explosive inspiration, but from patiently repeating the simplest acts. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, has shown that atomic habits, those small, repeated actions, are the solid foundation of every major achievement. That's why the greatest rivers always begin with a single drop of water, and the most beautiful mosaics are pieced together from thousands of tiny fragments. Don't fall into the trap of making grand promises at the start of the year only to abandon them halfway through. If you truly want to master yourself before the end of 2025, begin by planting a small seed each day. Devote time to one simple but meaningful habit and accumulate those small victories. You'll be surprised looking back at how the things that once seemed trivial became the powerful force that carried you forward. Step into the new year with a start small mindset. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, matters. All you have to do is begin. Every big change will follow. 4. Stop fearing change. The fear of change, also known as metathesiophobia, is a silent anxiety that causes many people to avoid changing their circumstances simply because they're afraid of the unknown ahead. At its mildest, it's that hesitation you feel whenever you're at a new crossroads. But if it lingers, this fear can turn into an invisible barrier, suffocating every aspiration and blocking your path to your true potential. Sometimes it's called tropophobia, the fear of moving, the fear of leaving your comfort zone. A bit of caution is a natural instinct that helps us avoid risks. But when anxiety spins out of control, it may be a signal of deep wounds in the mind. According to Dr. Carla Marie Manley, clinical psychologist, when we choose to create a change, such as moving to a new home or shifting jobs, we feel more in control of the outcome. If the change is brought about by forces outside of our control, whether a boss, a pandemic, or an accident, we feel disempowered. The fear of change isn't just a personal issue, it's a part of human nature. But ask yourself, how many times have you delayed an important decision just because of an invisible fear about the future? How many opportunities have you missed simply because you felt not ready enough? If you have, then you're living with chains of your own making. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." The universe is a constant flow of transformation, and our lives are shaped by how we think and feel about change. Don't ask how to stop the waves of change, learn to ride them. Picture yourself as a surfer. If all you do is resist, you'll be swallowed by the waves. But if you observe, adapt, and move in sync with the motion, those very waves will lift you up and carry you toward a new horizon. From a practical perspective, try turning fear into a drive to learn. Step outside your comfort zone, pick up a new hobby, explore a different environment, start conversations with people unlike yourself. In doing so, you're training your mind to be flexible like a tree that bends in the wind but never breaks. Proactive adaptation means seeking ways to thrive amid adversity instead of becoming a victim of circumstances. Let 2025 be the year you find the courage to ride the waves of change with skill and composure. Don't let old fears pull you under. Choose to move forward, because every change is a chance to grow and discover yourself on a deeper level. And if you're ready to rise, get ready for habit number 5, where you surround yourself with people who inspire and push you to become better. Because you are the average of the people you spend time with. Have you truly chosen relationships that uplift you? Don't miss the next part. 5. Associate with people who make you better. There's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So, who are you spending your time with, and are these people helping you become better? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? And why does this matter for the way you see yourself? This topic might seem simple, but it's at the core of your journey to self-improvement. How many times have you found yourself unconsciously blending in with the emotions, opinions, or habits of someone else, whether in your friend group, at work, or even within your own family? The truth is, your environment and the people around you are like the soil that shapes the roots of your soul quietly, but powerfully. The philosopher Seneca once emphasized, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Stoicism isn't just a theory. It teaches us to actively choose our companions. They don't have to be perfect. They just need to make us want to grow and push beyond ourselves each day. Take a look at your own circle of friends, colleagues, or partners. Are they mirrors reflecting the qualities you aspire to? Or are they draining your energy, holding you back, and slowly eroding your drive? Negative influences spread quickly. It's like living with a limping person. You'll eventually get used to limping too. The study, Ego Depletion, Is the Active Self a Limited Resource? By Roy Baumeister and colleagues, published in 1998, showed that your self-control and willpower are profoundly affected by your environment. In small groups, habits and emotions, whether positive or negative, can rapidly spread among members. This means if you want to live more consciously, calmly and proactively, you need to start replanting your garden of influence before 2025 ends. Take the initiative to build a Stoic circle. It could be a book club, a group committed to self-improvement, or simply people who are willing to share their failures, lessons, and ways of living. When we learn together, debate, or even disagree, each person not only improves themselves, but also helps the community grow stronger. Don't forget, you don't have to build this alone. The digital age lets you connect with like-minded people, whether through online groups, podcasts, or real-world communities. Be selective and nurture relationships that are healthy, where each person is fertile ground for your own deep and steady growth. Remember, by the end of 2025, the garden you plant today will be what nourishes your resilience, wisdom, and lasting peace. You truly are the average of your closest friends, so choose to walk with those who make you proud to be yourself. If you found this meaningful, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I will choose positive companions for my 2025 journey. 6. Say no to the inessential. Have you ever felt like you're being pulled in 100 different directions every single day? How many times have you said yes just because you didn't want to say no, only to pile more nameless responsibilities onto yourself? Meetings, projects, relationships that aren't truly necessary. In today's world, everything is demanding your attention. Emails, messages, collaboration offers, new opportunities, and even unspoken expectations from society. By the end of 2025, when you look back, you might realize you've spent too much time on things that don't truly matter. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Most of what we say and do is not essential." That's not just a reminder, it's an open question. What is truly necessary for you? The Stoics believed in discernment, the wisdom to see what is meaningful and what simply keeps us busy without bringing real value. The art of saying no isn't about rejecting everything. It's about choosing carefully to protect your time, energy, and focus for what genuinely nourishes you. I want you to ask yourself, out of all your current commitments, how many truly come from your values and goals? How many are just the habit of saying yes because you're afraid to offend, afraid to miss out? Learn to step back and reflect. Just as Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Arianna Huffington and Tim Ferriss. both of whom have shared often in Business Insider and the New York Times about the art of refusal, believe that saying no isn't about shutting the door on opportunities. It's about creating the space to say yes to what's truly worthwhile. That's how you protect your resources and nurture what matters most. From now until the end of 2025, practice the principle of a selective yes. Only say yes when it helps you grow, fuels your passion, or deepens a truly meaningful relationship. Every time you say no to something trivial, you're saying yes to yourself, to a more focused and fulfilling life. There's only one question you need to remember. Is this necessary? When you answer honestly, you'll turn the skill of saying no into a superpower and unlock a new year of meaning and true freedom. 7. Do something difficult. Have you ever pictured yourself as a mighty ship anchored quietly in the safety of the harbor? Out there, the ocean waves are fierce and cold, but that's exactly where true resilience is forged. If you keep mooring in your comfort zone, you'll never discover how strong you really are. The story of Seneca, the steadfast Stoic philosopher, is a striking example. He never stopped at New Year's promises or sat around simply dreaming about strength. On the coldest days, Seneca would plunge himself into the freezing Tiber River, not out of some odd hobby or a desire to build physical endurance, but as a declaration of how to live. He was determined to take control of himself, to deliberately face discomfort, to rise above fear, and to never let comfort or instinct dictate his actions. The message here is crystal clear. Doing the hard thing is the only way to truly grow. When you choose challenges for yourself, you're not just overcoming an obstacle, you're sending yourself a powerful reminder of your own will. I can control my actions, my reactions, and even my mind. That's the essence of Stoicism, self-mastery and courage. So, what's the challenge you'll set for yourself between now and the end of 2025? Maybe it's getting up early every day for a month, braving a cold shower, speaking up even when your heart is racing, or finally learning that skill you've been avoiding. Every difficult action you choose is your own leap into the icy river. Only by facing challenges do we grow, not just surviving, but rising strong and living boldly. Are you ready to give yourself that challenge? Stay tuned, because in the next part, you'll discover habit number 8, the art of commanding yourself to stop at the right moment, a rare skill that few truly understand. 8. Give yourself the order to stop. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and a legendary general of World War II, was once a slave to cigarettes for 40 years. Every day he smoked up to 4 packs, seemingly unable to escape their grip. But one day, when his doctor gave him a stern warning, either quit smoking now or be ready to face serious consequences, Eisenhower made no excuses, no delays. He simply told himself, decisively, stop. From that moment on, he quit entirely and never looked back. We often think freedom means doing whatever we want. But as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once emphasized, no man is free who is not master of himself. True freedom begins when we control our temptations, our bad habits, and the recurring fears in our own minds. Ask yourself honestly, what's holding you back in your comfort zone? Maybe it's procrastination, endless scrolling, a coffee addiction, or spirals of negative thinking. These chains, though invisible, hold you captive every single day. Stoicism is not just a distant theory, it's the power to act. Don't wait for motivation from outside. Don't indulge yourself with the excuse that tomorrow will be different. Look yourself in the eye and give the order, stop. The moment you grant yourself permission to stop, that's when you truly begin to take charge of your life with full awareness and real strength. From now until the end of 2025, try giving yourself this order at least once. Stop. It's not just a way to break a bad habit. It's the first step to freeing yourself from every old limitation. You are the commander of your own destiny, and the very first command is always this: master yourself. Are you ready to be your own commander? If you are, comment, "I'm ready." And now, let's move on to the next habit. 9. Stop letting anxiety rule over you. Have you ever felt trapped in a storm, not one raging outside, but one swirling inside your own mind? Anxiety is that quiet, persistent shadow, always trailing behind you, whispering about everything that could go wrong, about disasters that haven't even happened yet. No one else can see this storm except you. But you feel it every single moment, especially as 2025 draws to a close and the uncertainty and fatigue keep rising. This is the storm within anxiety that every man in modern society must face, no matter who you are or where you stand. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "Today I escaped from anxiety." Or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. In the end, anxiety doesn't come from the world, but from the way we think about the world. The Stoics remind us, you can't control your circumstances, but you can always control your thoughts and your responses. Anxiety isn't a reality, it's a product of imagination, a fog that clouds your vision and turns a small hill into an impossible mountain. The answer isn't to deny your fears, but to become aware of them. Pause, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this fear coming from what's actually happening, or just from what I imagine might happen? Most anxiety is what I fear might happen, things that haven't even arrived. Look at things as they truly are, not through the lens of fear. Don't mistake anxiety for a solution. It only paralyzes you, like sitting on a rocking chair, moving endlessly, but getting nowhere. As you step into the new year, remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Overcome the storm within, and you will reclaim your strength, your peace, and your power to shape life from today until the end of 2025. The only storm you need to weather is the one inside you. 10. Come back to rhythm. Have you ever found yourself caught in this cycle, making plans for change, determined to train yourself, only to veer off track just weeks or even days later? Maybe you missed a few workouts, broke your diet, or woke up one day feeling no motivation for your goals. By the end of 2025, when you look back, a quiet sense of disappointment, guilt, or helplessness grows inside. But pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, are you pressuring yourself to become a perfect version that simply doesn't exist? The truth is, accepting our human nature means accepting the falls, the mistakes, and moments of weakness. This is the first step toward real growth. Marcus Aurelius, who once carried the weight of the entire Roman Empire, also got tired, also lost his way. He didn't just get up after every failure. He learned to appreciate those moments, the moments when you are allowed to begin again. Greatness doesn't come from never falling, but from the ability to return to your rhythm, even if it's just one small step. If you've ever blamed yourself for falling short of your goals, try looking at it differently. Don't let moments off track become proof that you lack willpower. See them as lessons in compassion. Forgiving yourself isn't weakness, it's strength, it's calm persistence. Gently remind yourself, I'm human, and every time I find my rhythm again, I'm getting stronger. What truly matters isn't what happened, but how you respond. Every time you get back in rhythm, whether it's meditating for 5 minutes, a gentle workout, or sending an apology, you're practicing Stoicism in real life. Every day is a new canvas. You can pick up the brush and start again at any moment. Start today, even if you failed yesterday. Turn Stoicism into small, repeated, consistent actions. That's how true Stoics grow, with compassion, with perseverance, and always returning to themselves, even if it's just a small step, before 2025 comes to a close. 11. Practice emotional minimalism. Have you ever noticed that every morning, before you even do anything, your mind is already crowded with tangled emotions? You worry about unanswered messages. You get annoyed by a meaningless comment online. You feel disheartened by negative news or jealous of someone else's success. It's as if every day you're forced to carry around dozens of kilos of emotional baggage that you never chose to bring along. No matter how strong he may be, the modern man can find himself exhausted simply from constantly reacting to everything around him. Every notification, every bit of gossip, every petty drama slowly drains your energy. The result? You react more than you act, becoming short-tempered, easily unsettled, and gradually losing your ability to be in control, a quality that Stoic philosophy considers the highest value. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "We are not disturbed by events, but by the views we take of them." The practice of emotional minimalism is training your mind to be as calm as a still lake, refusing to let the storms of the outside world wash away your inner peace. Let's look at reality. Warren Buffett, a billionaire who embodies the philosophy of emotional control, once said, "You can't let emotions rule your decisions." The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. That saying isn't just true for Wall Street, but for every turn your life takes. Whoever can control their emotions controls the outcome. You can start simple. Every morning, choose one negative emotion to leave behind for that day, maybe anger, envy, or fear. When you face a situation that triggers you, don't rush to react. Take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself, is this reaction really necessary? Every night, spend 2 minutes writing a journal entry. The unnecessary emotion I had today was. At the same time, boldly cut down your emotional inputs. Limit the news you consume, avoid online arguments, and steer clear of drama. The less unnecessary input you allow in, the lighter and clearer your mind will become. From now until the end of 2025, if you could choose just one new habit, try practicing emotional minimalism so that each day feels lighter and every decision becomes wiser. And if you've made it this far, get ready for the final step, where the power of Stoicism reaches its peak. Reconnecting with stillness is the key that unlocks your deepest inner strength. Are you ready? 12. Reconnect with stillness. Let's be honest with each other. How long has it been since you truly touched complete silence in your mind? We live in an era where stillness has become a luxury, reserved only for those brave enough to face themselves. You turn on a podcast during your commute, check your phone before bed, and even fill every free second with music, notifications, or endless short videos. We have everything except for silence. Have you ever asked yourself, what am I running from in those moments of quiet? The ancient Stoics understood deeply. Wisdom doesn't blossom in noise, it flourishes in profound silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal every day to listen to his inner self, to find peace in the raging storms of responsibility and power. In our digital age, CEO Jack Dorsey spent 10 full days on a Vipassana retreat, cutting off all contact with technology and language, left only with his breath and his raw thoughts. He shared, "In silence, you realize how loud your own mind has been. Only when we embrace silence do we see where the real noise lies inside ourselves." If your mind often feels like a swarm of restless bees never at peace, now is the time to reclaim this Stoic habit from today until the end of 2025. Start simple. Each day, set aside 5 to 10 minutes for digital silence, no phone, no music, no notifications. Don't rush to fill every empty space. Instead, try a slow walk or a brief meditation, focusing only on your breath and the rhythm of life unfolding in the present. When tension rises, instead of reacting right away, ask yourself, if Marcus Aurelius were here, would he quietly observe or jump into the argument? That choice alone allows you to step back, see things from a distance, and avoid being swept away by fleeting emotions. After each session, write down what you discovered in that silent moment, your insight of silence. It could be a passing thought, an unnamed feeling, or a clearer direction for tomorrow. This is the first step to reconnect with yourself, equipping you with steadiness and clarity to face any challenge from now until the end of 2025. We have just explored together 12 Stoic habits, practical principles that empower you to master your mind, overcome crises, and build a more resilient life from today through the end of 2025. Each habit is a small yet solid step, helping you strengthen your inner power, transform adversity, and live in harmony with yourself. Stoic philosophy is not some distant theory. It is a compass for real actions, daily decisions, and emotions. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, stillness is the compass that guides you back to yourself. When your mind is calm, every choice becomes clear, and you can stand strong through any storm. By the end of 2025, let stillness become the superpower that leads you forward on your journey of growth. Have you practiced any of these habits? Or what is the greatest challenge you want to overcome? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow the next videos displayed at the end so you never miss a step on your journey to mastering Stoic philosophy. Wishing you a peaceful and powerful new day.